So I'm Offeh, and this is the Mothership Collective 2.0, a version of a previous project that I was invited to create an installation at South London Gallery, all under this umbrella theme of like sci-fi and speculative fictions. And that's become a bit of a kind of framework for kind of working through, I think, the lens of future thinking and utopian thinking. So this version, 2.0, is taking on some of the themes of that original project, which is really about inviting people to really play and thinking about kind of play as a kind of, for me, a kind of political action that engenders curiosity, that creates social dynamics, that creates conversation, that allows for discovery. So it's this idea of like thinking of narratives of the future, being asked to think about what you might want from the future, thinking of mythical fantasy worlds. And again, for me, this is very political in terms of asking people to think about a future allows them to have an investment in it. And I think also the idea of the imagination and thinking about what might be impossible and allowing yourself to kind of go there. I think far too many people at the moment have to operate within very tight margins or are not allowed to think beyond the day-to-day. And for me, real social change and cultural change has come from these moments where people have imagined the impossible. So it's really, really fundamental. In the Mothership Collective 2.0 here at the Baltic, we've created this sci-fi playscape, which is an invitation for people to explore and engage with. And there are various zones that people can kind of interact with. So I'd say there's a kind of control panel, instrumentation, sonic station, which is full of like samplers and beat makers and keyboards, but also percussive hand instruments. And the idea is that people can come in and interact with those, interact with other people. It's sort of designed to create sort of jamming sessions. So you might be in tune rhythmically or sonically with someone that you don't know, but then you're creating something quite interesting. And this space is also kind of a real nod into one of the important references in the show, which is Sun Ra, who was this kind of free jazz musician who believed he was from Saturn, and he believed that music had the power to take people into an intergalactic cosmic space. So for him, music is like freedom and play, and so we really wanted to have an area that really kind of speaks to that possibility. Moving around the space, we have this big kind of triangle, pyramid. I would call it a stage. It's, again, an invitation for people to kind of perform, pose, move in. People are invited to photograph themselves, to come together collectively. They might want to move, dance. And I think I really wanted to have a space where people can be very exhibitionist, can present themselves if they want to. We have these amazing kind of like dance floor pools, of mirrored pools. And in one of them we have these really amazing like balls or bubbles, which are really kind of like tactile, interactive. The invitation is to kind of get on the floor and play with them, move them. So we've got these like flaming eyeballs and a tongue, and they hold these screens, and on the screens are basically an introduction to the space. So you see the symbol of the kind of mothership landing, it's flying along the Tyne, see Newcastle Gateshead landing at the Baltic. And then there is a kind of sort of welcome and an invitation to think about questions, an invitation to play. There are also references to other artists and writers and forms of music that have informed what we're doing, and people can look at those, be inspired by those, but also to bring their own. We welcome people to bring their own references that might inform how they use the space. we have this magnetic wall with text, and that text are samples of words that we've taken from kind of songs about futurism and Afrofuturism. And there's an invitation, a bit like the kind of fridge magnet game, to create lyrics or phrases or words. So it's again thinking through words and creating poetry, making statements. But it's another way of thinking and imagining the future poetically through writing, through text. And this space will be used for kind of workshops. We also have a green screen, which allows people to film themselves against. And then using very simple chroma key, you can place yourself in any situation, an interplanetary, or create and build a world and imagine yourself within that. And throughout the exhibition, we hope to kind of really activate the space through, groups coming together, taking ownership, doing workshops, generating images, coming up with their own speculative fictions and imaginings, whether that's just of Newcastle and Gateshead or of a completely different planet or world that's coming out of their imagination, or something else that I can't even imagine. So I think what I'm really excited to see is as the space and the run of the show evolves, how things change, and bringing in more voices, more artists, more participants, and kind of making a slightly richer, fuller conversation.